Hi, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. We're a global community and just wanted to say hello and welcome to our other edition of Online Biz Real Talk today. We've got a really great topic today, and it's called When Did You Draw the Line and Decide Enough is Enough? And this is such a great topic because a lot of us within our business community decided to draw the line in the sand and said, you know what, I'm done. I need a change. I can't continue what I'm doing right now because it's not changing anything. And we're here to talk to you guys about our personal experience of why we ended up choosing to start an online business and share our experiences that hopefully it can resonate with those that are watching live and those that are watching the replay. And yeah, we'll start now, and we'll just introduce everyone within the community right now that we have. We've got Ahmed and Georgia today. So thanks you two for joining us and talking about your personal experience about why you decided to change your life and say enough is enough. So yeah, hi everyone.
Hello, Paulo. I
Yeah.
guess I'll start off.
No, go ahead. Yeah, go on. Introduce yourself, Ahmed. Just tell people who you are, what you do for a living, and um, just that one
Mhm,
experience, because it takes that one experience for us to finally decide that we wanted to change. So yeah, I'll let you take the floor, Ahmed.
mhm. Hey, everyone. My name's Ahmed. I've been in this business now for 4.5 years, and as a full-time career, I'm a firefighter. I love what I do. I really love it. Every day I go to work. I feel pretty good about it. But where I drew the line was every day or every time I talk to my friends or people that I know, everyone always talks about, hey, I want to travel more. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to go there. And one thing I realized while I've been in this community is how many people, unlike me, a lot of people join because they don't like their jobs. And I don't blame them. There's a lot of people out there that have to get jobs because they need to support their family. Are they doing it because they love it? No, they're doing it because they have to. So I've seen a lot of people, Georgia being one of them, coming into this business, not liking what they do, finding huge success in this business, and now doing what they love, traveling, working from other places in the world. And I was like, man, that's something that I've always wanted to do. And that's something that I've always preached. I want to travel more. I want to go places. I really love the sun. So in the winter times here in Canada, it's really cold and I don't like it. And I've always been saying, man, some one of these years I'm gonna go and I'm gonna spend the winter somewhere else when it's cold. November, October, December, I don't want to be here. I want to be somewhere else. And finally I was like, okay, enough. I see a lot of people doing it. I'm gonna pursue this. And I'm gonna make it happen for myself. And it was that one thing that for me, I love my job, but I want to travel more. So I want to make this happen. As much as I love my job, I gotta sometimes prioritize myself, and that's something that we all need to look at ourselves and do. Sometimes we forget about ourselves and we put other people forward, and you need to take care about the person that should matter the most to you, which is yourself, and do what you love sometimes, and do it not just do it for yourself, do it for your loved ones. If you have a family, if you have kids, if you have brothers, if you have sisters, if you're someone like me that takes care of their parents, do it for them, do what they love, take them where they want, and just live your dreams. And mine is to travel more. And when I saw that was a possibility, I definitely jumped into this full fledged. And a year from now, we'll see where I'm at. I might not be here in Canada anymore, but I guess you'll just have to wait and see where I'm at, and I'll get back to you from wherever I will be in the world.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, Ahmed. And I like how you touch about the work-life balance, because I know a lot of us struggle with that because we've grown up in a society, in Western society, where you think the harder you work, the more that you're going to get out of your job. But we have realized over the last several years that it doesn't matter how hard you work. Your company are going to let you go if they're going to downsize or sorry, I can't even think of the word, but just like streamline their processes in their work, and you get let go of your job even though you've worked in it for a company for quite a while, or even just when your companies are short staffed, you're busy constantly working and you feel bad for leaving work because like you are letting your colleagues down and so on. So it does get tough finding that work life balance. And so I get how you said like you want more travel. You want it's essentially more vacation travel so that you
Mhm.
can de-stress, you can relax, because I know with your current job, with your firefighting job, it's rewarding, but at the same time, when you're constantly giving, it exhausts you. And it's not just a mental thing for you, it's physical, because your work is quite physical, right?
Exactly. And everyone says, work hard, play hard, you'll get reimbursed. But even saying in my job, to be fully transparent for you, we get paid really well. But here in Vancouver, Canada, with all the mortgages rates going up, with inflation going up, with the price of living going up, sometimes that's not enough. You see a lot of people working overtime. There's a lot of overtime. We're grateful for that. We're lucky we have that in our profession because a lot of people are getting let go and we have overtime opportunities. So a lot of people are taking advantage of that. But to be fully transparent, yeah, even in this line of field, people have to work that overtime. Luckily, we don't have to go get a second job because we have the possibility of going in for extra shifts.
Yeah.
So even with our job where we get paid really well, people are still almost redlined. So
Yeah.
regardless of your profession, everything's just going up.
Yeah, just the overtime is what entices people, but you
Yes.
never realize until you reach that burnout period
Yeah.
that you're like, I don't care about overtime anymore. I care about my health, my quality of life,
Mhm.
and me not missing out on important life events with family and friends. And it takes people sometimes, like, it won't take people months. Sometimes it can take a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but you're already so deep into it already that you're exhausted, that you're just like, I have to do it because this is, like you said, people rely on that overtime money to get by.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, thanks for bringing that up. And I know a lot of people can resonate with that because that is the reality right now that we're living in.
Mhm.
And so yeah, thank you, Ahmed, for sharing that experience.
Exactly. Yeah, no
And
problem. And I was gonna say one last thing, and with working all that overtime and all those extra shifts, you're not getting time to just do what you love. Spend it
yeah,
with the people that you love, do the activities that you want, and just have some downtime to yourself. You're not getting that, and with that, of course, comes the burnout, and of course, comes impact to your mental health, and so on and so forward. So yeah, it's just a rolling ball from there downhill.
yeah. All right, thank you, Ahmed. So I will pass it to Georgia, Coach Georgia. I know you have had a really tough experience with just the type of businesses that you were doing, and I'll let you introduce yourselves, because I know a lot of people watches our live business chat, but for those who haven't watched us or first time joining us in the Learn to Earn online group, for those who are just watching the replays as well, I'll let Georgia introduce herself.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll introduce myself and I'll comment on what Amit said. So, yeah, I'm Georgia Williams. I'm a president and CEO, as you can see on my name. I'm a mom of five beautiful children. So, my children are my everything. They're my huge why. I'm here in beautiful West Kelowna. We're in British Columbia right now. And yeah, I was a brick and mortar business owner before, just like Paulo said. I literally was just always away from my kids, and it was stressful. And just like Paulo said, you're working, you're working. I was making good money, but at the same time, I was like, I need to sleep. I'm getting anxiety. I'm getting sick. My mother and father got sick. There's a lot of things that was the turning point. But what I wanted to comment before I forget and before I go on to another subject on what Amit said, just about not having time to yourself, and even what Paulo said, like the burnout. And I sent Paulo a little. It was funny, a little video before we came on, and it was making fun of nurse lives, and it was just it was joking about how they come home and their eyes are all dark, and they're busy, 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 and a lot of people go through this, and even people who have a brick and mortar business. And I was one of those. And I just, I see people that have businesses and they don't have any time. Like they're there at like 7, 8 in the morning, and they're there till like 7, 8 o'clock at night. And then they come home, they do the same thing. I'm like, where are you your own boss? You are not your own boss. You are literally slaving away for other people. And you're probably getting paid and earning the same wage as somebody would be as an employee. But now you got the stress of the whole business. And so, and just, what Amit was saying, like just the complete not having, um, not having enough. You're not valued at times. And it's because people, there's so many people working, there's so much work for that boss to do, there's so much things they're doing, and sometimes you get overlooked and your hard work doesn't get paid off, and they don't up you, or they put you in a better position, but now you're overworked and you're paid just a few more dollars more an hour. So I just wanted to comment on that. But my big turning point was my children. Obviously, I was literally having my children cared for by nannies, and I remember that. Like, soon as we was talking about this subject, I was like, I remember when there was a nanny that hurt my daughter's arm when she was really small, Meadow. So Meadow's like 16 now, but I remember when she was like 5 or 6, and the lady hurt. I remember there was a little bruise on her arm, and it hurt me so bad. I wasn't even mad at this lady. She was an older lady, and it was like, okay, she pulled my daughter too hard out of the crib because she was mad because Meadow was being a naughty little girl. So she picked her up and she put her in there, and like I was freaking out. I'm like, what happened? Even in the schools, like the schools wasn't even good. Like that was one of the reasons why I homeschool my children. Like the bigger kids, yeah, they were okay in public school and stuff, but I think about that. Like, I don't even trust teachers with my kids at times. Like, I've seen what some teachers do. Like, I love my children so much. I want to be there for them. And the fact that I wasn't there for them, I wasn't every moment. I didn't see their little upbringings, or nannies washing my son or feeding them, and I'm coming home. It's like, what did you do today? And that bothered me. That was like, and I had some wonderful nannies, but it bothered me that I couldn't be there for my children, and I'm missing out on their special moments. And I really got sick, because you can have all the money in the world, okay, but if you don't have time to spend with your kids, and if you don't have like the right diet, and you're not eating, and you're just rushing, and you're just drinking a coffee and eating fast food, and everything's a rush, 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 there's no life. There's no life there. You could take a trip once in a while, just like a job. You only have your selected days, and that's what was happening for me. And I was like, that was the turning point. I got sick, to be honest with you. I gained anxiety, and I gained a lot of stomach issues, because the mind and the stomach are connected, right? So the stress really did a number on me, and I gained a lot of health issues. And now I'm vegan and gluten free, and I eat healthy and stuff, but stress, they say, is a killer, right? So I know that was the big turning point. My mom and dad got sick, and it became more stressful. I'm like, oh my goodness, like, and my mom passed away. And then I moved out here to BC, because I was in Toronto, Ontario, and I left my brick and mortar business behind. And I brought it here on a smaller scale. And when I brought it here on a smaller scale, it failed. I changed some things, but I turned Christian. I wanted to have more morally aligned with my beliefs as a Christian, and everything failed. And I became in debt. I spent all my savings, everything I worked so hard for, I spent. And then that was the turning point. It was like, enough is enough, because I literally was given job opportunities, and a few little opportunities here and there. And I was like, if I take this, I'm going to have to get pay for commute. I'm going to have to get childcare again, and my kids aren't going to eat properly again. I'm not going to care for them again. I was like, no. But I actually, at this point, I was contemplating, like, I kind of had no choice. I need to make money, and my business failed, right? And I'm in debt now. And then the twins are only 2 years old, and glory goes to God. Along and behold, this business fell in my lap. I seen somebody I knew at a dealership, okay, where a lady on the other side, because there was two of them, was offering me a job there. But anyways, when she was before she was offering me the job, I literally seen this business, so I could have took one or the other. Okay, and I contemplated. I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go full force in this business. I'm not gonna take that job. I'm not gonna literally leave my children again to be cared for by nannies. And I literally blew up. It wasn't by overnight. Let's just put it like this. I worked on my business. This is not a pyramid scheme or a get rich scheme. Or to all my business partners who just started, you're not going to make $5,000, $10,000 in the first week. Don't expect that. If you do, you could, you know what, you could do it, because I've seen somebody do it. I seen my business partners from Africa. They're in the US right now, Utah. And in like a couple of weeks, they made almost like 15K. So, but what I want to say is, don't come in like, oh well, I'm broke and I need money tomorrow. You have to work on it. It's a business, but it works a lot quicker than an offline business. I've seen results right away within the first month. I started to get sales and I started to get buyers and leads and all of that. So think about it. You know, these huge dealerships or these huge places where they're finding leads, or these companies that sell alarm systems or these lotions and potions, takes them a really long time to get leads. Okay, it takes them a long time, it takes them millions of dollars to get that business up and established. And even if it's a franchise, because we're kind of like a franchise, right? We have everything for you ready made. It's a proven system, proven business, proven products. Companies that we're affiliated with, they ship the product, store the product, produce the product, they test the product, all of that. We don't do any of that. So we have it made. The only thing we're doing now is advertising. We don't have to store or ship the product. So yeah, that's my story.
No, it's nice to have you on here because obviously me and Ahmed don't have kids.
Yeah.
It's nice that you brought that up because it's tough because I remember growing up as a kid and how hard my parents worked and how I didn't really get to see them very much because they're working overtime. And so I can imagine with you with 5 kids and you working and not seeing those milestones and hearing from your nannies about their milestones versus you experiencing it yourself. So yeah, it's great you did this change. I know it's not an easy change, but it's something that you have to just say, you know what, I have to do it because if not, then I'm just going to keep continuing the same cycle over and over again. So yeah, thank you, Georgia, for sharing your experience. And so, yeah, mine's almost similar to Georgia, minus the kids and from a health aspect. So hi everyone, my name is Paulo Perez. I was born in the Philippines, grew up in Calgary, and call Vancouver home. And I've been a nurse just over 20 years now. And I worked in all places in nursing. But the job that caused me to draw the line was when I was working as an oncology clinical trials nurse. So this is back in 2014. I was working with my other colleague, love her. She was amazing, great colleague to work with. But we were working a 3 nurse workload for 2 years because our previous other colleague, she burnt out as well and had ended up having to take a leave of absence because the kind of role as an oncology clinical trials nurse is very extensive because we are literally coordinating patients to get onto clinical trial studies and making sure their tests, exams, their doctor's appointments, their trips across the ferry are all set up properly in order for a patient to get onto a trial. So that's one patient. Times that by 30 plus patients that we're constantly having to coordinate patient care. And over the years, like I'm amazing at the job. I'm really good at coordinating. I'm good at looking after my patients, but it just built up and built up and built up because I forgot to look out for myself. And then 2014, it was February. I woke up with a stiff neck. Everyone has a stiff neck when they woke up, like when they sleep improperly. So I thought it was just a stiff neck. And around the same time too, I was in the process of moving into my first condo. I bought my first condo downtown Vancouver. I made it happen. I don't know how it happened, but it made it happen. And I was in the process of moving in a couple months as well. And so February 2014, that first week of February, I woke up with that stiff neck. And then the second week, it just kept getting worse. And I'd be going to my massage therapist, trying to fix it, and it would fix it a bit. And then the pain would come back again. And it was to the point the third week, my neck started kind of turning to the right. And I couldn't straighten it. So I was going to massage therapy 3 times a week to try to straighten my neck. And that didn't help. It just kept getting worse. And then on the fourth week, it kept getting worse and worse. And on the fifth week, my head was doing this nonstop. I could not control my head movement. I was I was scared. I don't know what the heck. I didn't know what was happening. I went into the emergency hospital. The doctors there brushing me off, saying that, oh, it's nothing. It'll get better. I went to my GP's office. The locum doctor said that, oh, it's nothing. I asked for an X-ray. They just said, oh, we probably won't find anything. So I was getting kind of brushed under the rug, saying like I was not making it up, but it's something that will kind of just go away, but it wasn't going away. And it was tough for me being in healthcare and having this happen to me where I had to start being my own advocate on something that I didn't even know what was happening. And I was getting stressed out even more because I was not getting my answers. And finally, I saw a my physio guy, and he told me I had torticollis or cervical dystonia, which is a rare condition. It happens only to 3% of the population. And I was happy I finally was able to get a diagnosis, but I needed an actual official diagnosis from a doctor. And so I just kind of kept going to work thinking it was going to get better, because I didn't know who to go to afterwards. And it was to the point that my neck was severely turning to the right, that it pinched the nerve in my C5 and C6 of my spine. And I started losing motor and sensory function to my right arm. So every week it just went lower and lower to the point it was useless. It was just a limb that was just kind of hanging out there and stuff. But I had that thing was also a rare condition. So I had two rare conditions happening at the same time. And it was all due to the stress that I'm convinced it was due to stress from the work, as well as the stress of the thought of moving into a new place. And so it just built up. And I know probably this underlying condition was in me genetically, but it was the stressors, the environmental stresses that triggered it. And so I was to the point where I was lying in bed where it was the only point I could stay comfortable and not be in pain, and my head would just stop moving. And I sat there crying, thinking like, is this my new life? Like, is this how I was going to live? And I, at the same time, I was only focused on the health part, but at the other part of it, the bigger part of it, I was worried about who's going to pay for the mortgage, who's going to, pay for the bills. Am I going to be able to, go to the gym again? Like I was healthy before this, and it was just a lot of this other thought and other things that was going through my head versus being able to focus on healing and stuff that I knew at that point. I was like, I will never allow myself to be in that same position again where I was worried about money. Where now it's like, and so that was my point. That was my turning point. And so I had to start looking for change. And yeah, and then it didn't happen right away, but I knew at that point that's when I started looking and trying to find things that I can do secondhand. Like, so I started like starting a business on Etsy. Like I was sewing pillowcases on there. I was like trying to do like t-shirts and stuff too. I was trying to find other things, and that's when maybe a year or so after that incident, I was able to find this online business that where I got to meet George and Ahmed. And yeah, so that was my turning point. That was where I drew the line and said, things have to change, because if I continue doing what I'm doing, I was going to probably cause other stressors or other things happening in my life. And I didn't want to do that again. And so now I'm such a big advocate for myself in the sense of having that good work-life balance, like with Ahmed, what he mentioned before, but also looking out for yourself, number one, because if you don't look out for yourself, you can't look out and take care of other people. And there's so many people I want to take care of, like with my family and friends. And, I want to spoil them with this business, that the abundance that comes from this business, I want to spoil them, because the more you give out there, I find the more that you get back. At first, when I was starting this business, I was looking for the money, but now running this business over 6 years, it's more on being able to help others. So that is my number one goal now with this business. And I'm glad I know it was tough at that moment, 6 years ago, or sorry, 8 years ago, when I went through that experience, but it needed to happen to help me realize that I had to change my life. So yeah, sorry guys, that was really drawn out, but it is just, I was kind of just building experiences to show people that this is, like I said, reality of what people are going through with work. And Georgia, you said it, stress is I think the number one factor with a lot of things where people have health issues that come up from stress.
Wow, that was like a very like interesting dramatic story. That, oh my goodness, like look how strong you are. You got through that. And that
Yeah.
just shows you can get through anything. And now I see where your strength comes from.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I see that why you're so motivated, why you're so driven. And to all those who are watching, this is what makes a person successful in this business. It's your drive. It's you putting your mind to it. It's you working on your business every day. I can say, oh, I'm tired, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Or I can stay up an extra hour and work on my business. Okay. I can literally do so many things. Okay. And, different than working on my business. I can just, oh, this is too stressful, but my drive is too big. My drive is my children. Your drive was getting healthy, right? And not wanting to do that. Same thing with me. I felt the same way. And, that's the everything that you explained, like, and now look at you. You have time to work on yourself. You're actually traveling, going to the gym and still like getting buyers. I got constant buyers today and yesterday, constantly. If you guys see, like, and it's real. And I'm in the midst of doing so many things with my kids, and we're thinking now of taking some a trip into Vancouver, having a little fun with the children. All these things that people want to do, and they're like, how can I do this? Like, I can't do it. I'm only off for one day this week, and then maybe 2 days next week. They just can't get up and go. They just can't de-stress and go into a hot tub or go into a sauna or go into a little retreat. So yeah, that's amazing. Did you want to comment on his story, Amit?
No, no, that's all I wanted to say. I know it's I can get deeper into it because it was just so much that built up, but I know we have limited time. But it's just a touch of what I wanted to share people with my experience, and I just want to avoid. I want to help people avoid what I had to go through with, because it was all about burnouts. It was all about the burnout and stress and health, and I want to help people stop themselves from getting to that point where it causes health issues, because once you get past that fence of health issues, sometimes it's you can't go back. That's the thing, and you're left with dealing with it. Like I'm left with dealing with this for life. It's indefinite. I have to see my neurologist every 4 to 5 months to get Botox injections in my neck, and that's just the reality of what I have to deal with all the time, and do
Yeah.
physio and like massage therapy. Like, it's just my new norm. But you can avoid a lot of that stuff if you are honest with yourself and say that I need to make a change. And that's what we're here to show everyone who's watching live, that there is this opportunity that we want to share with you, that this is legit. This is a business. You get a tax slip at the end of the year. Like, I just got my tax slip from the companies that we work with, and it's legit. It's long term. What, like Georgia said, it's not a quick rich type of business. And if you are interested to learn more about this business model, the system that we're using, then reach out to any of us. Like, if you watch this replay video, reach out to any of us and ask for our website and just enter your name and email. And today, unfortunately, it's at 5 p.m. We had our live our live webinar, but we do offer another live webinar every Tuesday, Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time or 8 p.m. Eastern time. But reach out to any of us on here if you resonate with any of us three, or if you see this on any replay video of any of the other business colleagues that we mentor, reach out to them. But also, if you have registered before, watched our free information webinar, and you want to learn a bit more, then tell them that you want to reach out and join the Learn to Earn online group, because we've created some really good frequently asked question videos that we get as coaches and mentors about what this business is about. And you'll be able to gain VIP access and just watch the videos to get more information, do your due diligence to see if this is something that you'd be interested in doing. So yeah, is there anything else, Georgia or Ahmed, that you guys want to add in?
Did you want to add some, Amit? I had something that I wanted to say. Like, to anybody out there who is feeling like they can't make a change and they have no support, or they're scared, and you just feel like you can't. Because I understand. Believe me, I get people on a daily basis. I'm a coach and mentor. I get people that are, I'm scared to start, or my husband is not on my side, or whatever. Talk to us, talk with us, ask us. We give support. In our community, we have an actual tabs that help you with your mental state, that help you stay focused, that help you organize your time. So we're very supportive, even though you think, oh, I'm not business minded. Well, there's also people out there who have anxiety or are worried, or they don't have certain organization skills. We teach you those. We're very hands-on, even with computer skills also. And to all those who, have that draw the line story, I was going to add this. Why don't you tell us what your story is? What made you draw the line? What's making you draw the line today? Tell us your story. We'd love to hear you by email or here in the text. We'd love to hear your story. What made you draw the line and make a change, or what have you did in your life to change, or what made you draw the line and sign up for our workshop? So yeah, click on that Learn More button, add your name and your email. You'll see our free workshop. You'll be taken right away to the workshop replay, and you can come watch us live. And then if you're in the Learn to Earn online group, the sign up button is there, so you can sign up and we'll get you started. So God bless. Thank you, Paulo, for
Oh,
hosting.
you're welcome. Thank you too for joining. And yeah, good evening or good night, you guys. And we'll have another edition on Saturday. So stay tuned.
All right.
Okay, bye everyone.